everyone, this video is about what you should and shouldn't say to people with chronic illnesses, featuring Shadow, who is just wandering around my room, so she'll probably be in a few shots. But hey, kittens are cute, so you know. The first one is one of the most obvious, and that's get well soon. And let me start off by saying that we know that you mean well, we really do, and it's just something you say. It's kind of like common courtesy, you know, like when you're using your manners, please, thank you. And it's just something that you say, or like, oh, I've got a cold, oh, get well soon. Oh, I've got a chronic illness, oh, get well soon. And so we do know that you mean well, but it can kind of be quite upsetting because for a lot of us the chances of getting well soon or getting well really far in the future, it's not really going to happen, and we will kind of, you know, every time you say it we're like thinking in our heads, I know that you're trying to be nice, but I really just want to like punch you right now. Because for me anyway, it's kind of upsetting because it's this little reminder that I'm not going to get well soon. And to be honest, again, this is just me, I get fed up of people saying it, and there are loads of posts on Tumblr about how you should be nice to people, and you know, the first time someone says it, like, cool, that's great, you're being polite, you care about me. But if you keep saying it and the person with a chronic illness has kind of, you know, explained it once or twice, then it's kind of going to become really, really annoying. And, you know, saying I hope you feel better tomorrow is a little bit better because you understand that our chronic illness fluctuates, and if we're in a flare or we've stopped taking a med or started a new one and it's kind of throwing our symptoms into whack and you've no idea how well you're going to be, saying I hope you feel a little bit better tomorrow is completely different to get well soon, because it's, I understand you're not going to get well, but I hope that tomorrow you're in a little less pain or you're not as tired. So trying to say I hope you feel a little bit better tomorrow is just, from my point of view, I would prefer that a lot more to if you were saying get well soon. I don't know what these are doing, but apparently they really want to be in the video. That one's called Pillow because, well, I want a chronic illnessy type name, and my mum didn't want me to call her Spoon or Spoons or Spoonie. So when she went missing we had to walk around the neighbourhood yelling Pillow, so my mum tries to call her Willow in the hope that it sounds the same, but she's kind of given up on that. The second one is to not point out that we look tired. I'm going to be the first one to admit I look really tired right now. I don't have any makeup on. I hardly ever wear makeup unless I'm going out to something kind of social, like, you know, a night out or whatever. If we're just going to the cinema or something, I can't be bothered anymore. So, you know, don't tell me that I look really pale or that you can see these huge bags under my eyes, because trust me, I know. I really, really know. And it kind of goes like, say you were really insecure about your nose, I wouldn't kind of say, oh hey, your nose looks big today. You know, looking kind of sick, it's not that I look sick, but I don't know how to explain it. You know, looking like I'm really tired and then I haven't slept in 3 years, you know, don't point it out, because we're probably really insecure about it and we probably don't have the energy to put makeup on. So, you know, if you see that we have bags under our eyes or that we just look genuinely tired, don't point it out, keep it to yourself. Or if you do notice it and something kind of slips out, just say, oh, I hope you get a bit more sleep tonight. You know, I hope you're not as tired tomorrow. Don't point out these huge bags under our eyes, because we wouldn't do the same to you. We really wouldn't. And the third one is if your friend or family member or whoever it is with a chronic illness comes back from the doctors and they are ranting about the appointment or the doctor in general or the waiting times, let them rant. Please let them rant, because we have been to enough doctor's appointments where we kind of just get fed up. We spend half our lives in the waiting rooms and our appointments at 10 o'clock and we don't get seen until 11:30, and we're bored, we're tired, we don't have time for it really. And especially when the doctor is cruel in accepting that they're trying to say, oh no, I don't really think that's a real illness or whatever. Don't blurt out your doctor knows what they're doing, your doctor knows best, you should listen to them, because we know best. We know how we feel and our doctor doesn't. We're the one who knows what's best for us and what's best for our body, and sometimes the doctor is really close-minded and they're just saying, oh, exercise more, even though we've just spent the last, like 30 minutes telling them that we can't really walk up the stairs in our assistance. So don't go, but oh, they graduated from medical school, they've got 7 years of being in uni and learning, and they know better because you don't know about all the stuff they've learned in med school. But trust me, we know better. So let us rant, and please, please don't tell us. Just say, oh hey, I hope you find a doctor that understands you better. Just let us rant and just let us be annoyed that another doctor has just kind of ignored us. One of the main things is when you are told what illness someone has, never ever say, oh, I haven't heard of that, are you sure it's real? That's just kind of, I don't even know, I can't even describe how angry I would be if someone said that to me, because the whole point is that it's an invisible illness, you can't see it, and a lot of them are kind of rare. And to be honest, before I came sick and before I had my diagnosis of ME, I didn't know, these are just the ones off the top of my head, Crohn's, fibromyalgia, Ehlers-Danlos, ME, literally any chronic illness. The best I'd heard of was like asthma, that was it. I think the extent of it was asthma and cancer, that was it. And unless you've spent like 50 years looking through every single diagnosis possible of all these illnesses, you're probably not going to have heard of it. And just because you haven't heard of it doesn't mean that it isn't real. And the best thing for you to do is say, oh, you know what, I haven't heard of that, but I'm going to go look it up and I'm going to see how I can help you understand about your diagnosis, and I'm going to make sure that I don't say silly things that could upset you. And the worst possible thing you can say is that's not a real illness, because you don't know that, you're not living through what we are. We know that it's a real illness, and to be honest, if you tell us that you don't think it's a real illness, we're probably not going to talk to you again and we're probably not going to trust you again. And when you have a chronic illness, your friends kind of just drop off when they do something mean or they say something like that, or they just kind of don't contact you because you're sick. So we know what it's like to just kind of lose friends, and we won't be afraid to drop you like a hot pancake on the floor if you say something like that. I don't know where I got the hot pancake from, I don't know, I don't even like pancakes that much. If you see us taking meds, just ignore it. Especially if you know we're sick, don't be like, oh, are you sure you should be taking all those? Yeah, we're sure. Half of them have been prescribed by the doctor and half of them we've researched, and they're like herbal meds. And a lot of us don't just have morning and nighttime meds. It's like The Hobbit with the second breakfast and lunch and third lunch, and I've not seen The Hobbit yet. It's really bad. I want to, but I've not. But you know, we're taking meds every few hours or whatever. It's not just morning and night. So if you see us doing it, and especially if we're trying to do it subtly, don't call us out for it. Don't be like, oh hey, Megan's taking meds, everyone have a look. Especially if we're trying to be really subtle about it, because we obviously don't want people to know. And don't just like, are you sure you should be taking all those? Please don't, because we know what we're doing. And we know that they're important in helping us kind of control our symptoms to the best that they're able to do. So just don't mention it, or if you want to, which I don't know why you would, just be like, oh, I hope those help a little bit. I don't know anything about them, but otherwise just keep your mouth shut, because it really has nothing to do with you. Another one is, if you see someone who is walking and they have parked in the disabled bay, do not start yelling at us or telling us that we're horrible people because we're young and we can't possibly be disabled. Not everyone who is disabled is in a wheelchair or uses a walking aid. So if we're parking in the disabled bay and we look perfectly fine, that's none of your business. We have a blue badge, or the disabled place card, it's not always blue in other countries, but we have a blue badge. We've displayed our blue badge. You don't need to start a conversation with us about how we shouldn't be parking there, because we have the correct paperwork and the blue badge to park there. And why we're parking there is none of your business. One of the other ones is, you don't look sick. It's kind of the motto for an invisible illness. And people might think that it's a compliment, because, you know, like, oh hey, you don't look sick. What do you want my response to be? We get that we don't look sick. We know we don't look sick because it's called an invisible illness. But telling us that we don't look sick, it really is not a compliment. So rather than saying you don't look sick, just walk away from me, because I will hit you if you tell me that I don't look sick. It's none of your business whether I look sick or not. And if you tell me that I don't look sick, are you expecting a thank you? Because that's not something that I would thank you for at all. So telling me that I don't look sick is not the best way to get on my good side. And what does looking sick like? Do you expect me to look as pale as I can be? And the only thing I can think of comparing pale is like vampires. Do you want me to look so pale that I look like a vampire? What does sick look like? Do you want me to be bald? I don't even understand how people could think that it's a compliment. And some days I do wear makeup, and that's because I have the energy to put makeup on. And yeah, with makeup I don't look sick, but it's still not a compliment at all. And the last one is, do not ever tell someone who is chronically ill that there are people who are worse off than them, because we will hate you. Just because there is someone who is worse off than us, it doesn't mean that we aren't suffering, that we aren't sick. I get it, there are people who are dying, and that's awful. But right now I'm suffering, I am in pain. And telling me that there is someone who is dying, someone who is sicker than I am, doesn't stop my pain and my symptoms. And it's just an awful thing to say to someone. You know, say you just won £10 on the lottery. You shouldn't be happy. There are people who just won £100 on the lottery. That's how it works. It's the same. Just because I'm sick and there are people who are worse off than me that are sicker, or it doesn't invalidate how I'm feeling. I'm still sick. And chances are, if you say that to someone, then, well, if someone said that to me, I would not want to talk to them at all. It is just an awful, horrible thing to say to someone, and just don't, please. It is just, I can't even express how much I hate that people say it, so please just don't say it at all.